And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, January 17th, 2015. This is Season 9, Episode 3. I'm Scott.
I'm Dennis.
I'm Matt.
And I'm RJ.
And welcome to the show. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. You'll notice that you did not hear an I'm Nate, because, well, Nate's not here. So, no Nate, no James, and we'll have news on both of them a little bit later on. So, Nate's not here, but you can still call us. It's not a problem. Might take a little bit longer for us to get to the phones because we might be in a conversation or something like that. But just call, let it ring, and we'll get to it as soon as we can. That number again is 334-272-9228. You can check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat, as well as over on Facebook. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. And we are streaming the show live. If you've ever wanted to watch the show, like visually watch us, we closed the blinds here because the sun wreaks havoc on the lighting and the cameras. Too much light in here. But if you ever wanted to watch us, you can go over to twitch.tv on your computer there. Search for In-Game Chat, and you'll find us. You can watch the show and also listen to it. You can also join in the chat room live while we broadcast with other people who are hanging out in the chat room as well. Hello, chat room. Anyway, welcome to the show. So, what's been going on? I'll go ahead and give you my little update on like games I've been playing. None. So
still,
yeah, still nothing other than my iOS stuff that I'll pop into and do my Spider-Man thing for a little bit just to pass the time. But otherwise, no, nothing. Didn't play the thing. Wanted to get into the Evolve beta that's going on this weekend.
I figured you'd jump in on that.
Only if other people are jumping in on it, and my friends list shows nobody's jumping in on it. I don't know if they're waiting for somebody to see other people playing it, and then that's what will get them in there. But
yeah, I figured you'd just like jump into a pickup group or something.
No,
they're too scary for you.
They're not scary for me. They're just I just don't. I won't have fun doing it. I don't think I'll have fun playing with a pickup group. Honestly,
it is better to play with people you know.
That game's really specifically requires a lot of teamwork.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And if you don't have that, and I would say what multiplayer game doesn't, but unless of course you're playing on your own type thing. But this is not a. I mean, everything in here is team based. It's not a.
And it's not like a thing where you like just let me be the monster because I'm playing solo or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Maybe I could select. You can select your priority. I'm distracted because I just noticed that. While I was doing the intro there, and while I'm talking to you, my throat is starting to hurt.
Oh, that's not good.
Price.
It's not a good sign. I feel fine, but my throat is actually kind of
a little scratchy.
No. Actually, it's sore, achy. This is weird. Sorry. Evolve has settings in there where you can...
Yeah, you can like list the preference of like,
right, exactly.
I want to be this class or the monster.
Yeah, it's like if you what's your main preference of what you want to do. So I guess I could set that to the monster and just do that. That would actually be great practice, actually. So that's a great idea. Mm-hmm. So if I don't see anybody on, I'll just do that. Because really, it was there, and I didn't play any of it last night because I was just waiting for other people to get in and play. And I would see, like I saw Nick from Co-Optimus. I saw him playing for a brief hot minute, and then when I refreshed my friends page, he was done. So I don't know if he was just popping in to look or what was going on, but he wasn't playing very long. Lee Khan got in there today, and he was on for just a brief moment that I could see. You know, I refreshed my friends list on Steam, and he's like showing up there playing. And then I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'll look around or whatever. 5 minutes, at the most, and I'll refresh again, and he's gone. He's not playing. Mm-hmm. He's on to something else. So wasn't sticking around for other people. So anyway, that's it. That's all I've been doing. So, and I'm going to guess that you've been doing Binding of Isaac.
A bit of Binding of Isaac. I'm still at a point where I just can't get any more achievements or unlocks going. It's getting beyond the point where my skill level is right now. Aside from that, more Saints Row 4. Been playing a bit more Fallen London again, which, man, Sunless Sea looks really good.
Got that.
Because that is in that same universe.
This is the one with the don't eat your crew or try not to eat your crew. And
yeah,
stuff, right?
exploring the underground sea, essentially.
Yes. I have that. I've done nothing with it.
Yeah,
well, I have it.
Getting its official release.
It's early access, right?
Yeah, it's early access right now, and releasing February 6th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aside from that, not much. I need to get Civ Beyond Earth loaded because that's on the free weekend this weekend.
Saints Row's free. Civ Beyond Earth is free.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that Civ Beyond Earth, that's a 2K game, and it's interesting that they would say, "Hey, yeah, throw us in a free weekend." Meanwhile, our Evolve beta thing is going on.
Yeah, Evolve's going on as well.
Which is also 2K. I don't understand why they wouldn't just say, here's Evolve. Everybody go on PC
I don't know.
and play
I mean, Saints Row's obvious because they have their expansion coming out next week.
And that's not 2K.
Yeah.
I mean, which, I get with Saints Row.
Yeah.
Civ 5 or Civ Beyond Earth, I'm not sure. I'm fine with it. I'm happy with it. I'm glad
absolutely.
More people get to play it. But it was James and I were talking about this last night because I don't know that he was aware that he was actually in the beta. But anybody who was in the Evolve Alpha for PC is also in the Evolve Beta. And I think this goes for PS4 and Xbox One as well. However, last time when they did the Alpha, if you owned XCOM.
Yeah, that's right, because that's how I got in on it then.
If you owned XCOM on PC, you were also into the beta.
Which meant pretty much everybody who'd ever heard of things like Humble Bundle or the like.
Right. Well, there's still some people who don't have XCOM. So this time around for the beta access, they widened it out too. If you own Left 4 Dead 2, which I know is another one you think, who doesn't own that?
This is almost like if you own a computer, if you have a mouse and keyboard, guess what?
There's my thought. It's like, why not just make it free? Why not just make it open? It says it's closed. Why not just make it open for everybody? In fact, they started a stress test 9 minutes ago, right when we started our show. They started a stress test, and we're like, hey, let's everybody pile on the servers there, and let's see what we can do to this. So if you own Left 4 Dead 2, you are already into the beta. If you own BioShock Infinite, you're into the beta. Both of those, I guess, Turtle Rock Studios. Not both.
No, Left 4 Dead 2 definitely. But
Turtle Rock, and then 2K for BioShock Infinite. But again, I just don't know why they just didn't say, here, have at it. But their decision. This pretty much opens it up to everybody with the exception of maybe RJ.
I mean, it does make a little bit of sense because it shows like you're interested in these types of games. So instead of just being like, oh, just start up a Steam account and go nuts.
I'm just curious. This is neither here nor there. This is for those of you just tuning in, or for those of you who've listened to us for a while. These are the kind of conversations we have. They mean absolutely nothing.
No, but we enjoy them. That's part of why we started this.
Why would they? So they pick XCOM. They figure a lot of people have that. Then this time around, they pick BioShock Infinite. I guess figure a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
A lot of people have it, and again, first person thing as well.
Yeah.
But if I look at 2K's library, I'm like, why not just make it any Borderlands title?
Oh man. Yeah.
There's another one. It's just like, why not make it any I'm trying to think of any other 2K game, but like the big popular ones would be your Borderlands, maybe your BioShock Infinite. That's still kind of, who knows, BioShock Infinite.
Well, I mean, Infinite compared to Borderlands, probably a little bit demographic difference in there. Maybe they're looking to get somebody, because anybody who's like big into shooters and anything is probably going to pick up Evolve regardless.
I would think maybe the Borderlands, because that's, with that being kind of focused on cooperation, team play, more so than BioShock was.
Yeah,
to me that would make more sense.
Yeah, they might be like trying to reach out of that just a little bit instead of just being like, well, transplant Borderlands or Evolve, which maybe they're like, well, that's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
The people who are into Borderlands are probably going to end up either picking up Evolve or whatever. But somebody who's interested in Infinite, particularly people who are like, well, didn't care for the mechanics, I was more interested in story. that's somebody who normally wouldn't have picked up this game to begin with. But it's like, oh, here, try this free thing.
Yeah. I don't know. So but it's out there. Everybody has a copy of it. Like I said, exception of RJ, and I can give him a code if he wanted to, but I don't think he's got a PC that'll
probably not
run it. But anyway,
mine actually, I don't have it in my library.
If you do, you own BioShock and you own Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah,
I own both of those.
Yeah, go to your library and look for your Evolve beta.
Yeah, it should pop under the My Games section.
Not the installed games, but go to your My Games section.
Yeah,
and it'll be there.
I'll look for it. But I saw it there.
You got your? What did you bring?
Oh.
Brought your pad.
My tablet.
Yeah, your tablet. I don't know if you can check there. Go for it, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, what have you been playing in the meantime, Matt?
In the meantime, I've been doing some Swapper on the Vita, which I really like the handheldness of that game. It's a really fun game. Get me thinking about the puzzles and stuff like that. The atmosphere and the music I really enjoy. Mm-hmm. That one's been good. I beat Tales from the Borderlands.
Okay.
The first chapter.
Yeah, the first chapter.
I was going to say, I was like, they've only got the
first chapter.
They have chapter 1 up right now.
When did that release?
About 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was right before the winter sale.
Oh, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Okay.
Yeah,
they're still good then.
Yeah.
When did Game of Thrones release?
A bit before that, like not very long.
Aren't we? For whatever reason, I feel like we're due an episode here for one of these two.
Yeah, probably Game of Thrones first. I think that came out first, so we'll probably see another one there.
Probably.
Then Tales from Borderlands will be a little bit later.
Yeah, it's Telltale and Borderlands.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Actually, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it was very much the sense of humor that I did enjoy from Borderlands without.
Did you beat it?
I did. I did get through episode 1, so I got through that. But it's I don't have to worry about getting 3 other people in there to make the world feel complete.
Exactly. Yeah. Doing a little bit more Wolfenstein New Order. I think I'm at the last boss on that one. And, it automatically saves, because there's 2 phases of the boss battle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It automatically saved right after the first phase, and I was, down to, almost no ammunition afterwards, after I've, collect everything. So I keep on going into the second boss battle with, hardly anything. So it's been a little challenging, so doing that. And I was playing some more Force Unleashed.
Yeah, I saw you playing that.
Yeah, Cyphercat was...
Force Unleashed 2 or Force Unleashed?
The first one.
First one?
Yeah, they give me a little flack about that.
Well, yeah, because the game ends when you get to that sand planet with the guy who has all the statues sitting around. He's final boss, as far as I can tell. Can't get past him.
For Force Unleashed?
Yeah, Force Unleashed. The Jedi Master who creates a bunch of statues, he just throws one at you and the game ends. That's always the way that battle's turned out for me.
Really? No.
You got flack for that?
Well, just a little, I guess, friendly ribbing because
From who? From us?
No, Cyphercat.
Oh, okay.
Just I know you like Star Wars, but come on, really, man? I was like, oh, it's not that bad.
Whatever. You're going to be in Grim Fandango next week or the week after.
Force Unleashed looked interesting. It's just
I like the story.
The story sounds. I just never could get past that boss for whatever reason. It just I did everything that it told me to and looked up stuff and never got past it. So I was like, back to GameFly with you.
Huh? Because I had it originally on the 360, and I beat it both the light side and dark side on that. And same with the Force Unleashed 2, which was a little bit shorter than the first one. But, whatever. And like you say, right now it's just waiting for next Tuesday, which I already pre-ordered Grim Fandango. It's not coming out on Steam.
Is it this Tuesday? Really?
Yeah. Well, wait, the 27th. So maybe 2 weeks? I don't know.
So it's not this Tuesday, it's next Tuesday, but it's not coming out on Steam, huh?
It looks like it's just going to be at GOG.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I got it from.
It's got a page on Steam, though, you said, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you just hadn't seen it on...
I haven't seen it
That's
on
what
Steam.
It was. That's what we talked about.
I haven't seen it
on Steam.
And then I got a email from GOG saying, pre-order, Grim Fandango. So I went there, and there's this, even video that Tim Schafer did saying how, he likes GOG and, here's the game. So I was like, okay, I'll get it that way.
Wow. All right. Well, so that's what you'll be doing, and that's what you have been doing. Over to RJ again. I wish I had more to say on myself, but nothing.
It's been more the standard fare. It's a little bit of a Borderlands pre-sequel, a little bit of a Guilty Gear Xrd. I'm still having trouble dealing with the character Leo Whitefang. I'm just having a really bad matchup problem between him and my main character of choice is Axel Lowe. and it's a definite disadvantage that I'm seeing so far. I just haven't figured out a way to get around him yet, but I've been trying to figure out ways to do that.
Is it just the dude is like kind of made specifically against your character?
No, it's not that really. It's just he's really powerful, pretty fast when he wants to be, and he's got these combinations that take off a ridiculous amount of energy from your health bar, and he can just swarm you with pressure relentlessly. And I have a character who not particularly fast, but he has a lot of range. I mean, my quickest attack, if I'm getting the frame data right, is about 7 frames, and so he's got a lot in his arsenal that can stuff my quickest attack. So my best bet right now is to keep my distance, but when he's up close, my options are severely
it sounds
limited.
like he's a character who does get up close.
He's an up close and personal type of character, and I'm using the character that's best at a distance. So you can see the problem right there. So trying to figure out how to deal with the pressure of being swarmed on like that. That's something I'm trying to work on with Xrd. But outside of that, I've been playing a lot of Streets of Rage remake lately. I've had some folks who didn't know about Streets of Rage or played it a while back and never finished it or got hold of it and everything. So I've been telling them all about the remake and telling them how to get it and how to install it and things of that nature. So
this is the fan-made one, correct?
The fan-made one from Bomber Games. They took them, I'm trying to think, was it 8 years of work? They refined and honed it, and they put it out there. And
and then they got the usual cease and desist.
Yeah, they got the
Sega.
cease and desist from Sega, but by then it was too little too late. Version 5 was put out there, and I got to tell you, man, it's like the best Streets of Rage I've ever played. And I'm still loving it to this day.
Well, no idea what Nate has been playing, and I know James has been playing some WoW. I was getting in touch with him last night to do some Evolve stuff, and he had already scheduled some WoW time last night. So
I was looking into a bit of that. The things with like the garrison sound really interesting. Kind of adds just a hint of idle game elements to it, while also letting you work towards some of the goals in game.
Yeah. Well, both of them should be back next week, James and Nate. I will not be here next weekend for the show, but we will still have a show. Fortunately enough, a friend here at the station will be sitting in my spot, but James and the rest of you guys will all be here.
We'll make do
to do the show, and hopefully I'll be able to catch a little bit of it while I'm in San Antonio, or call you guys while I'm there. The time difference will be there will be no time difference. As far as I know, I think San Antonio.
I think it's central.
Yeah, they're central. So there will be no time difference. So I could call in easily enough, and give you an update on how that's going. And we'll talk about PAX South here in just a bit, because there's some people going to it. I know Medusa's Mirror is going, and this is going to be her first PAX. And I think this is going to be the first PAX for a lot of people.
Some people, it's hard to get up to Boston area or
right. Anytime they open up a new place, it always gets it not necessarily gets a slow start, but it always gets a bunch of first timers.
Yeah,
going to it. Did it happen? It happened with Boston, and God knows it happened when they went to Australia. and it's going to happen again now that they have PAX South, or PAX San Antonio, basically. So we'll talk about that here in just a bit, and we'll go over some of the news, some of the things that happened this week. I don't know. Was there any really thing big?
There's
that
a couple
happened
of
this
things.
week?
There's a bit of a dust up of Evolve going on.
Regarding
the DLC.
Yeah. We should talk about that.
I like that face.
There's plenty on
because
there.
it's nasty. I don't like it. I mean, it's never going to change, honestly. I say that. I'm seriously, I'm one of those guys. I know there are people out there who say, well, it'll change if you change. It's never going to change. It's just, man, it's just not.
Yeah, there's more than plenty to talk about. We can get started on Evolve.
Yeah. I see Oliver in there saying that GTA 5 PC delay, that was something.
Yeah, that's...
Nate was not happy about that. Nate was all ready for this.
It was supposed to be this week, was it?
This coming week, I believe.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, here's the specs and March.
Yeah. Nate was all happy about that.
He was. His little hopes are crushed.
Yeah, he was not...
Shouldn't we be used to that by now? Delays, pushbacks.
He was bummed about it. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it does happen, but it's like this was the week before when they came out and said
That happened, on occasion. It's a little rare that it's the week before.
Well, I think it's rare that it's the week before. It's rare that it's a port, and they're delaying it. Something that they've already got out on the next gen systems, and they're delaying the PC release. So, I don't think there's anything sketchy involved. Obviously, whatever, take your time to fix whatever you need to fix, if that's the case. Because again, just like we're talking about with PAX opening up new places, you're putting your game out on a brand new platform that GTA 5 essentially has not been on, and you're going to get a lot of new people playing it. So this is going to be their first time, so you want that experience to be good. And
you don't want to give them a defective product. Well, overly defective product.
Yeah, well, and I don't know how well the multiplayer has been working in that game. Because honestly, the multiplayer is the only thing that would really keep that game going for me if I had it, for the fact that once I got done with it, I was done with it. I realized it's an open world game and you can go and do other stuff, but once I got done with the story, I was done with the game. There were missions in there that were, you could choose to do them or you didn't have to do them. The optional. There were missions that were optional, but what they provided or what they offered was not something that I was interested in. So I was really interested in just let's get through the story and see how that pans out, and then let's just go from there. And I thought once I'm done, yay, I'll have this huge world I can play in, and I can fly around and do all this stuff. And I did that for all of, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then that was it. I wasn't going to walk away from that and think, boy, I can't wait till the next 3 hours that I get to play that or something like that. I didn't have that. I was like, okay, that's all the world offers.
Yeah, it's like the same thing in my situation. There are some games I play strictly for story and not for multiplayer options, even though a lot of companies will almost automatically put multiplayer in there to begin with, just like they feel like they're supposed to do it. Like Dead Space, when they put that multiplayer option in there, I never touched it at all. I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested in playing as Necromorphs. Yeah, I wasn't interested in playing as Necromorphs. I want to see how the story arc for Isaac Clarke went. So GTA 5 is pretty much the same way. I wanted to see the story. There's lots to do to keep you occupied, but when it's all said and done, when you get to that conclusion, you really have no desire to go through it again.
I never played GTA or really Dead Space thinking, man, if only this had multiplayer in it.
Yeah.
It is like a thing people add for.
That's the same thing I said about Uncharted. When I think it was either 2 or 3, I thought, that seems odd.
Yeah.
Throw it in multiplayer.
Did you get into that multiplayer scene?
I never did. It was a pretty good scene.
It's the same thing with Assassin's Creed. It's like,
well, they took that out. Oddly enough.
Really? They took out the Versus multiplayer from Unity? I know they have the co-op.
Just co-op. That's the only thing in there. There's not a Versus multiplayer in Unity.
I'm not surprised.
It is strictly just the co-op. That's the only multiplayer aspect of it. Is just the co-op part of it. So, I got that from GameFly. It's sitting there. It's waiting for me to play it, and I just nope. I don't.
Go make a sandwich while Paris loads.
You're right. It's always fun. It was always great when they first started doing open world stuff like GTA 3, and every time they would do this, or maybe they would announce another game that's going to be open world, like Assassin's Creed or something like that, or at least Assassin's Creed 2, and it was like, it's even more open, or it's a bigger world to play in, or something like that. It used to excite me. I used to think, oh, great, I'll have this entire thing to mess around with and do, and then I kind of realized over time where it was like, I don't do anything with that.
Yeah.
You give me all this, but I do nothing with it. I stick to your story, and I find just whatever the optional missions are that may interest me. And some do, and some don't. And sometimes it's just the story missions that carry me through the rest of the game. So,
yeah, it is nice. It can be interesting to see like the world design, see how you make like going down this road particularly unique or something like that. But if it doesn't have anything to do with the game, then you could just easily just throw it aside and say, okay.
Yeah. I think the only ones that I've ever gone the distance with on that are the Batman games.
I did that. I went through Saints Row a lot just because that's just fun.
Did I do that in Saints? No, because Saints Row had... did I? Maybe I did do that with Saints Row 3.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not Saints Row 4, but maybe Saints Row 3.
Yeah, Saints Row 4 is even more fun just because you can super jump and fly all over the place.
They give you the crackdown orbs, basically,
exactly.
and have you go through there.
It's great.
No, I did
That's what the open world needs is more Crackdown.
Yeah.
That's true. And it'll be that way with the next Batman game that's due to release. However, they've thrown the Batmobile in there, and so I imagine that some of the optional missions will be timed races of some kind. Get to this point or something like that.
Probably
honestly,
like the Victor Zos in the other games, like get to this place before he kills somebody.
Possibly. I know
Drive through
those are
traffic.
I know that some of the Riddler challenges are exactly that. They're races.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That you use the Batmobile with, and that's fine because you put them in the context of the game, and maybe they'll do that with some of the other stuff and put it within the context. If it's just here's a mission and you need to get from here to here in a certain amount of time with absolutely no context, that is likely something I will miss. The other thing I always did that with, or at least the other thing that I did that with when it had an open world thing, was Burnout Paradise. Every single thing on there.
Just going through all the various challenges and
and I guess
or just turning it into your own personal crash.
Yeah,
mode
and if you
point.
call that an open world, then I guess you could.
I think you could go anywhere.
Yeah, you could.
That for all intents and purposes, that's
that
what
would
open
be,
world is.
That would be one where I would have an exception to my rule there, because I would do 3 hours of nothing in that game, and then I would stop and think, boy, I can't wait till I get to do that again. I really actually would. Couldn't wait to get back in there and do 3 hours of nothing again, just driving around, crashing and jumping and whatever. But nothing structural, nothing that was mission specific or anything like that. So
yeah, but it is a bit of enjoyment getting out of the game.
Oh God, I love that game.
Yeah, most of the ones like we're talking about is just like there's nothing to do aside from okay. That's a nice rock formation.
Yeah, the best thing about Burnout Paradise, you can make up your own rules.
Yeah,
you can make up your own things. All right, I'm not going to hit any red cars, or I'm only going to hit red cars. Or something like that. Didn't matter. I just did whatever it was. Or I could pick some of the other missions, but pick a completely different car that would give me a better challenge to actually complete it, or something like that. And they had tons of DLC out the wazoo with that thing. The movie cars was fun because they
because you got
put
a
semi DeLorean in it.
Yeah.
They put a sort of DeLorean and a sort of Ghostbusters ambulance and Ecto one.
Did you make it a rule to go 88 miles per hour at all times in the DeLorean?
You just have to go above that.
Is above that? I thought it was exact.
Well, once you hit 88, I mean, if you're going faster, obviously the time circuits have already activated.
Well, it doesn't matter in Burnout Paradise because they don't have a speedometer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Burnout Paradise did not give you a...
Need a mod for that.
Yeah, there's no HUD to tell you how fast you're going, which is something I was never fond of, because it would always... And one of the developers of that is in the chat room with us right now. One of the... Yeah, never going to happen. I hate that, dude. God, I know. I still hold on to this
Modders,
hope.
get to work.
I know that's
like a good Indiana Jones movie that we may get. I still hold on to the hope that I'm going to get another Burnout game.
Burnout's in the refrigerator. It's safe from the explosion.
Yeah, I know.
Well, look, man, if it's like anything like Streets of Rage, if the desire for it picks up enough, someone's going to get to work on it.
Well, I think with anything, that had kind of a nostalgic past like that,
Mm-hmm.
I think eventually years will come, and then EA apparently owns the rights to it. I guess he may know, he may not in the chat room there, but I believe EA owns the rights to it. I think after enough time passes, someone will do a remaster, or remake, or a rejuvenation of the series.
Everything's old was new again.
The problem with that will be,
will they be able to match Criterion's work on it?
There's a formula there. Mm-hmm. There is a specific way that game feels, plays, and works, and they have got to match it to a T. Because, like Cadbury changing their ingredients to the egg, I'm going to notice if I play that thing.
Yeah,
I am going to notice if something's not right. He
does mention that EA does own Burnout.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, which do you think we'd get first, another Burnout or Mech Warrior?
I'm not familiar with the Mech Warrior side of things, so I couldn't tell you. Didn't Mech Warrior have a Mech Warrior Online or something like that? Didn't they do something recently?
I guess Mech Warrior
in the Mech Warrior thing.
Still kind of
They've done nothing with it. They did Burnout Crash, which was like that little arcade thing. Yeah, iOS and arcade thing.
Yeah.
But but that was it. They haven't done anything else, and Criterion went on. I could tell it in Criterion when they did the Need for Speed stuff.
Yeah, it has a different feel than the other Need for Speed.
It was not the same as Burnout, and that's fine because they were going a completely different franchise. They were with Need for Speed, but
3 is still one of my favorites.
3's great. That's something I wish. There's another one that I wish would get. There's a lot of those I wish they would come to PC or something. I don't know. Just put it out there so that we can go back to it and play it again. And the online aspect of 3 was great. The crash mode of 3 was great. I am a fan of every single one that they've released. Burnout Revenge. Burnout Revenge, when they put it on, that was on Xbox, and then they did another one for the 360 version.
Yeah.
And then they did a PS2 game, and it wasn't really Burnout Classic. It was called something.
Takedown?
Burnout, maybe it was called. No, that's Burnout 3 Takedown. They did something else.
Burnout Revenge?
No.
Nope. Maybe he's in there. He may know. But they did one, and it combined like a bunch of different versions of the game. I can't remember what it was called. I still have that game, and I think they also released it on the PSP as well. I'm trying to remember.
It's called Burnout Legends on the PSP.
Burnout Legends, that's what it was called. Burnout Legends and Burnout Dominator. Yes, there was Legends for the PSP, and then there was Dominator on the PS2. So. I know it's long distance, dude, but you can easily call in if you want to join in this conversation, this
Please do.
Burnout nostalgia that we're having. But it's just sad to think that they're never going to do it again. Like I said, they may rejuvenate the franchise or come out with something that's
We just hope it's not something like the Dungeon Keeper mobile thing.
That's a nice callback to it or something like that. But if they do, man, they've got to get it. They've got to get it right. And Criterion's working on something. And hopefully maybe this year we'll get a little bit more info about it. I don't know. They showed something off at E3 last year that was barely anything to do with
it was
with what
it was
the game
basically just we're Criterion. We're working on stuff, and that was about it.
Pretty much. They're working on some type of game that involves racing vehicles or something like that. Not necessarily cars this time, because I believe ATVs and helicopters were involved. So I'm not exactly sure what direction they're going in with that or what they're going to do with it, but it'll be interesting to find out and see what they actually plan on doing with it. So it's God, I could talk about Burnout all day. I really, really could. What was the other cars that they put in there? Oh, they put in a Kit car or a Knight Rider knockoff and a General Lee knockoff as well.
The DeLorean, that's the one that
Well, because they fly.
Yeah.
They can hover, not fly. They can hover.
And the fire streaks coming out of it.
Right, when you did Boost.
Yeah.
Do the fire streaks. That was always fun.
Did you have to run over garbage cans, get fuel for the Mr. Fusion?
No, you just had to replenish your boost. When you ran out of boost, you just had to replenish it. That was it. So, and then they did the toy cars. Then they put in motorcycles. Then they did a night and day dynamic for the game. Then they opened up Big Surf Island.
But not for the PC.
Not for the PC. They didn't do Big Surf Island.
Was that all part of like DLC that was released for Paradise?
Free DLC that was released for Paradise, by the way.
Yeah, for my Steam, I have like I can't get the cars and everything like the General Lee and the Ghostbuster, all the movie cars. I can't get those on the Steam.
On the Steam, you can't get those on the Steam.
There's weird ways that if you did weird things, but
you couldn't. The way that I got them, and I got them for my Origin account. I could not get them on Steam, but I got the game on Origin.
Yeah,
and I couldn't buy them there either. What happened was during the holidays, Amazon had a sale, and they had a sale on that specific pack, and it was digital download or something like that. But it was only available for Origin.
Okay,
and so I could buy it there, and then activate it through Origin.
So you just had to play the Origin version to get all that stuff?
Seems so, and I could be wrong now. I haven't looked at it on the Steam aspect of stuff. So
I remember there were some weird things, but I do know that they didn't release Big Surf, which I always wanted to play.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got a 360, right?
I think it's still in storage somewhere. Get it out.
I wonder if it's on the PS Now.
Yeah, sometimes I forget that I have mine too.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Gosh. Anyway, we should take a break.
All right.
We will be back with more of this rambling of nostalgia, and if you
We'll try to talk about some current stuff as well.
we really will. I want to talk about PAX. I want to talk about PAX South coming up. We want to talk about the Evolved DLC and the kind of weird stuff that they're doing there. And anyway, we'll have a lot more in-game chat coming up in just a moment. Here is music from Bionic Commando, Rearmed. We'll be right back. And welcome back to In-Game Chat, one of my favorite soundtracks.
I actually had the song playing in my gym jams kind of like playlist.
Was it your workout stuff?
Yeah, workout. It's good to start jogging to.
Yeah, that is music from Portal 2. So anyway, welcome back to the show. That is a great interview, and I appreciate you posting it in the chat room. And it is one that. And I would pick your brain over some Burnout. I wonder.
This is an interview on Burnout Paradise.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and I wonder if he. Wonder if he gets tired of people asking him about Burnout. You're working at Konami now. Ask me about that stuff that I'm working on. I make soccer games or football games. Ask me about that stuff. No, I want to talk to you about Burnout.
When you have
Keeps hope alive.
Yeah, when you have something that's so good and so loved by people. Even if you move on, you're always gonna, you'll have people that keep on asking.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
God, I miss it. I miss it so much. I'm getting a little teary-eyed over it. It is kind of sad.
Yes.
It's really kind of sad. Anyway, welcome back to the show, and we got about 20 minutes left before we got to take our next break. So we'll talk about PAX for a bit here. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone starting Thursday, I think, is when I fly out. And I won't be back until I'll be back Monday night sometime or Monday in the afternoon, whatever. But so I won't be here for next week's episode. But James and Nate will both be here. I don't know how you guys are going to work out your. Well, you are not going to be here, are you, Dennis?
Yeah, I'll be out of town.
You'll be out of town. So okay, well then that'll be
Problem
fine.
solved.
Until the next week.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
When all of us will be here, and we'll have to figure out the situation. So
We'll suss it out.
We'll
But
do what we
it's-
always do, make it up as we go along.
exactly, really.
Yep. So you're going to PAX next
So
week.
I'm going to be gone to PAX. Somebody else will be here. The show will still go on, so there will be a show next week. So make sure you tune in for that.
Anything in particular you're looking forward to at PAX?
That's a good question.
Well, I remember seeing Gearbox is going to have a huge presence there, which is something we had predicted a couple weeks ago because they were
Yeah.
in that area. And it turns out, yeah, they have a huge. They seem to be preparing for like a huge area that's all their own.
Yeah. Yeah. Gearbox will be there in a heavy presence. Sony will not be there. There's when I went to the exhibitor list, Sony is not listed on there. This was when you're talking about what I'm looking forward to. I don't know because nobody has gotten in touch with me. There are very few people have gotten in touch with me to set up appointments or anything. I believe Devolver Digital got in touch for something,
All right.
and Elite Dangerous got in touch for checking out the Oculus Rift version of what they got going on.
Oh, nice.
But other than that, it's been a bunch of mobile platform type games that I just haven't put any interest into or made appointments with. There's really been a lack. I got in touch with Bobby from Zen Studios. I hit her up just recently.
The Pinball Effects.
Yeah, the guys that do Pinball Effects too. I got in touch with her recently, and I said, "You guys going to be at PAX South?" She said, "Nope, we're not going to be there. We've got a lot of travel lined up for the year, and PAX South just does not fall into our thing."
Well, it is a new event for starters.
It's a brand new event, and I told her the same thing. I was like, "It's feeling like a ghost town as far as exhibitors."
It just might take a while for people to, work that into their schedules.
It will, and somebody on COG said the same thing in a thread. I'm going to see if I can find that thread real quick. They said the same thing about trying to go and about how it was shaping up, because tickets are still available for this.
Yeah, which isn't
Friday.
That
Well,
happens with
Saturday
PAX.
is sold out, but Friday and Sunday are still available. But let's see. Judging by the fact that tickets are still on sale and the lack of conversation, this is from Stoke in the thread on colonyofgamers.com about this. Judging by the fact that tickets are still on sale and the lack of conversation around it, I kind of feel like they're reaching saturation, and this is going to end up being the redheaded step PAX of the family. I don't really feel that way, or at least I don't believe that until give it a couple more years.
Yeah.
And let's see if it continues on this. If it continues this way, then maybe you could kind of consider that.
I think the first time out's a little hard to judge.
Yeah, it's a new event. I mean, PAX Prime was in a small building and had had over 1,000 people there, just in pre-regs. But it was the dealer's room was probably about as big as the floor we're in, not terribly big at all.
I remember when DragonCon was just in one hotel.
Yeah, meanwhile now it's all of
now it's
downtown
like
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
I went to
one. I went to one Dragon Con, and it was in one hotel, and my father took me.
My first year was '96, and it was just in like that one little. I don't even know which one, but
mine was not 90. Mine was probably 94, 95, I think.
Yeah, but
yeah, so things grow.
I can tell you what year I went. I just have to look for the movie that was playing at the time.
Which movie?
Doesn't matter.
The thing of it is, it's new.
Yeah.
It's also right after everybody has done whatever they've done for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's getting back to work.
Plus,
varies depending on game studio. I'm sure.
I'm curious, like for big distributors, people.
1992.
92.
92 is when I went to Dragon Con.
Now I'm curious, what movie?
It was a movie called Raising Cain. It was John Lithgow.
Oh, I remember that one.
I never saw it. I just remember the poster inside the area where we were going to go into Dragon Con. So that's the only way I can make that relation.
A horror movie.
Image Comics has just started.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get all my Spawn stuff autographed because he had just started over there. And I walked by. I didn't know how conventions worked. I walked by and these people were sitting on the floor, and it was where you were supposed to get the signing, but people were sitting on the floor, and I was just like, oh, well, I guess it's not time yet. And I kept walking on. And then towards the end, I was like, oh, I bet I need to go get my book signed. I walked over there, and the line was just, and I was like, oh, this is how I could have been. And it just was, I just didn't know how they worked. But, yeah, my dad My dad took me to that one. 92, man. God. So, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm curious, for the people, like the big distributors, the big show, people, the presidents like Sony, all them, how far in advance do they plan, their seasons when they, for show seasons? Like, we got to go to E3, we got to go to PAX Prime, we got to, so like when PAX South is the first one, they might not have planned it,
I tell you,
year.
a lot of the talk that I heard from people at PAX Prime,
mm-hmm.
when PAX South was being talked about, or when a lot of those people, because I would hit them up, because I knew I was going to PAX South, and I would hit them up, and I was like, hey, you going to be at PAX South? I'll see you there. No, we're not going to make it. Mm. And then I would talk with other people, and they're like, that's just a really bad time for a convention.
Mm-hmm. Bad timing, plus also...
And this was not people attending. These were exhibitors. Yeah. This was, in fact, it was Ubisoft who told me, like, that's a really bad time for them to put one.
Yeah, because right now they're probably getting everything ready to go to E3 and the like.
Exactly.
Getting all their tools and assets together.
Until they could, I'm guessing, until they could figure out, how it's going to fare out. They just sort of stand back and just notice it, and just look at attending numbers, stuff like that, instead of throwing everything towards it.
I mean, I think it'll grow, and I think it'll be fine. The letter that I got accompanying my tickets, I got them this week actually, the ones that I had ordered, God knows, months ago, said that this is their final PAX. They said that, and I don't mean that this is the last one they're ever going to do. I just mean that they're not going to expand any further for a year.
Okay, they're not like putting out another PAX region thing.
For a year. It said that, I wish I had that letter with me, but I think it was Koo that wrote that, said, when somebody first asked, I said, we could do 4 a year. And this is it. This is the fourth one, and they're not going to make any more additions. And it may change the location. But they're not going to make any more additions. They'll only ever do 4 a year. And in fact, going back to I went to the first PAX East, and I never went back, but I went to the first PAX East in Boston. And by the second one, by year 2 of that, they had already moved venues.
Yeah.
They had already said, this is too small, we need to move to a bigger place. And they did that and locked it in for many, many years. And now it's, for anybody that is attending PAX South, and I know Medusa's Mirror is, and if anybody else is attending PAX South for the very first time, this is your very first PAX, enjoy it now. Enjoy the fact that you didn't have to clamor to get tickets. Enjoy the fact that
you didn't have to wait in long lines.
Yeah, enjoy the fact that you won't be waiting in long lines for some of the panels and for anything else. Just soak it up and enjoy the 3 days that you get out of this. Because if it's anything like the previous PAXs, I guess that's plural. This is the only time you're ever going to get to enjoy that. Mm-hmm. Because after this, it's going to be mad.
Yeah.
Which bravo to them. I don't know that I'll do it. That I'll go the next year to PAX South. I kind of like it because it's close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also, for me, like PAX East is in March or April, late March, I think. Yeah,
I think so.
PAX East is in like late March. E3 is in the first week of June, and then PAX Prime is Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
So doing 3 of those, I really couldn't justify doing it. There were two. E3 and PAX Prime are too close together as it is, but if I only pick 2 out of the 3, those are the 2 that I'll go to. Mm-hmm. Being that PAX South is like way off here up in January, kind of gives me a nice gap in between where I could possibly do all 3. So I may do another year of PAX South. It is closer for me, so it's a possibility. I don't know. We'll see.
I've always wanted to go to Prime, but it's the same weekend as Dragon Con.
Right. See, this is the other thing is that for us, for Prime, it's a great time to go, but
the
it is right on the same day, same time frame as Dragon Con, which is
huge
right here for the South. Huge.
And it's right here.
People like you,
yeah.
People like Bobby Blackwolf, who does the Bobby Blackwolf show over on Orange Line, or not Orange Line Radio, but All Gamers. He's in Atlanta. And I think he's been to PAX Prime like one time. He and I met up. He just doesn't go. Dragon Con is better for him.
Yeah.
Because he's right there local. Saves him money and saves him a lot of time off type stuff. And the money thing's the big one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So
playing right across the country is expensive.
Yeah. So it's just easier for him to go to Dragon Con and do that, which is fine. But PAX South kind of offers that thing for the people on this side of the continent to go to one of these conventions. It's not conflicting with anything else that I know of, and
theoretically, it's close enough where you could drive.
Yeah, I don't know what the drive time is on that.
It's a decent amount. I mean, I drove. Because basic training's in San Antonio for Air Force, and so I did that drive, once, from there to here, back here in Montgomery. So it takes a while.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a lot easier than trying to drive to Boston or, Seattle.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm looking forward to this only for the fact that it's going to be, I don't know, other than Medusa's Mirror, and she and I have never met. I don't know of anybody else that's going to this from like the forums or even from any of our listeners. Which, by the way, if any of our listeners are going, please post in the chat room so I'll know, because I'd like to meet everybody who does listen to the show and will be at PAX South. I missed that opportunity at PAX Prime. I think W. Matthew was there, and I didn't even know about it. I didn't get a chance to meet him.
It's kind of like afterwards.
I know. I was like, you went? You didn't tell me.
Yeah.
I want to know. Well, I want to meet people. But
Scott will buy you dinner.
I tell you, man, my first PAX Prime that I went to, and we had a bunch of people from COG there, and it was still small. That was a great time. And we tried to emulate that every single time we went. And we sort of did, although it just got bigger and bigger. And then when we were all excited about it, that's when the tickets sold out and nobody could go.
Yeah.
I got in through press, but a bunch of people from COG who wanted to go were not able to go because those tickets just flat out were gone within minutes for the 3-day passes, and then it just died out from there. So, like I said, those of you who are going to PAX South and this is your first one, enjoy the moments, enjoy the times. I looked at the list of exhibitors, and Sony is not on that list. I'm trying to think of other people that I was trying to look for who might be on that list but weren't. I don't think I saw Warner Brothers on that list either. In fact, here I can run down that. I've got it on my. I got the guidebook app basically. And
yeah, I mean
it shows
a lot of
list
it
the
is like
exhibitors.
location. That's why Gearbox can do this thing because they're in Austin, Texas. There are plenty of other companies as well around that area, but. You got people who are primarily situated on the West Coast.
Yeah, Microsoft will be there, which I thought, hey, good, Twisted Pixel, but Twisted Pixel is deep in development on whatever it is that they're doing. Mm-hmm. And they're in Austin, and it's likely that they aren't going to be there.
That's going to be the other thing is if they have anything to show right now.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is not going to be there. I'm trying to see if there's any... Tiny Build Games will be there. In fact, they've already sent me an email about that. Tiny Build Games is the guys who do speedrunners.
Okay.
So that's nice to see. Rooster Teeth will be there.
I heard they have their own pizza at Pizza Hut.
I had no idea.
Yeah, a friend was telling me about that, how, since they do their Rooster Teeth podcast and they order pizza, they have a deal with Pizza Hut, Rooster Teeth Pizza.
Nintendo, Microsoft, LSU is going to be there.
LSU?
Yeah, Louisiana State University is going to be there.
The entire university.
Yeah, Logitech will be there.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, maybe you could grab me a joystick.
Intel. I'm hitting the high ones, man. Intel, or at least the ones that are familiar to me. I could, Graphite Lab I've never heard of, but they're going to be there. Funimation Entertainment will be there. EVGA. Extra Life. Extra Life will be there, and I need to get in touch with them since we're going to be trying to do a 24-hour thing for them later in October. I mentioned this, but Devolver Digital will also be there. Let's see.
You can make Nate happy by snagging some of those vinyls.
Astro Gaming, Alienware.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There's a bunch others, but there were ones that just didn't stand out to me. And by the way, whoever just call back. 334-272-9228 is the number. But yeah, so it's not a big list. It's not a big venue, but really, for those of you going for the first time, I really hope you have fun, and fun enough that you want to do it again. Because I hope it does expand into what PAX really, really is. And I hope that you guys get to experience that growth and watch it become what it'll eventually become. It's fun to see that happen. It's also fun to say you were there when it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And
or being the first time. That's
you'll
neat.
also really get to experience that really great community vibe that PAX does with just the people. And I'm sure you experience that when you go to. I think Dragon Con is actually too big too.
Yeah,
it's also gotten.
It is entirely
gigantic. Yeah, from what it used to be, but.
I'm guessing Gabe and Tycho will be there, right? They show up.
Oh, yeah. They'll be there. Again, this is one of those things that hit all the panels you want to hit, go to the concerts, everything else, because when it gets big, you won't be able to do that. You'll be sacrificing other panels so that you can get in line to see a panel that you really want to see. So you can sit in line for an hour and a half or something like that in order to get in and see a panel or whatever the case may be. Hey, Track Zero just showed up in the room. Good. Glad you joined us. I wanted to make sure that you're going to be popping on and playing some Evolve later on. After the show, maybe. I need to get my fix in. And now that the beta's out, I want to play it. So let's get together and do that. Anyway, we're going to take a break here in just a minute. When we come back, we will talk about Evolve. And all the DLC, it got confusing trying to figure out who gets what. It got confusing trying to figure out this beta of how this whole thing's going down, because apparently Xbox One has got some sweet deals going on with 2K where the stuff you unlock...
More monsters, more hunters.
You get more with Xbox One as far as the beta's concerned. Not necessarily the game, but with the beta, you do get more during this beta period if you're on Xbox One. Not only that, the stuff you unlock will carry over into the game, whereas everybody else, it all gets reset. But, yeah, I don't know.
We'll talk about that.
That's kind of annoyed me. So, anyway, that's all coming up. And again, your phone calls, please do call us in. 334-272-9228. We will be right back with more in-game chat in just a moment. Here is music from, you'll figure it out. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Excuse me. I am sucking on a lozenge right now to help my throat and hopefully not get sick before I go out of town. God, that would suck. Anyway, welcome back to the show. That was a music track called To Galaxy. I believe that was sent in to us from Gersnort, maybe? I can't remember. I am not sure. Let's do a chat room roll call real quick. Because, well, there's a lot of people in there. That's awesome. Fat Stuff is hanging out. Raspy Salamander. I always love saying that name. Uncle Elias. Leopold Kane. Our good friend that helped us out with, or that we helped out with Extra Life. And in fact, we'll likely be doing that again this year in October. AC Wraith hanging out. What does that say? Beastly TV. Track Zero. Drew is in the chat room. Welcome, Drew. Yes, we're going to play some Evolve later. Lavos, Arioka, Low Definition, Green Graysker, I hope. Medusa's Mirror, Tanner. You see the name, right?
Oh yeah, I
okay.
Yeah, I
You
see
see
the
it.
name.
We see it.
It's just this is very amusing.
The Gamer Me, Like a Boss 0119, W Matthew hanging out there, STM Fuller, and Speedy Eagle 32. That's another fun name to say, Speedy Eagle.
Can you say it 5 times fast?
Speedy Eagle, Speedy. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. I probably could, but yeah. Oh wait, there's more people that showed up. Hang on.
Wow.
I don't like to leave anybody out. So as soon as the chat room list updates, screw it. Patchy 202 showed up in the chat room. So anyway, welcome everybody. Appreciate you guys hanging out and joining us for the show. Yes, Drew, get Evolve. We're going to be talking about that, the Evolve beta going on right now on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. If you were in the alpha back in October on any of these systems, you are now in the beta. If I think you pre-order the game, you are almost likely in the beta for any of these systems. Mm-hmm. And Xbox One, the beta started early for them. Started on the 15th, where everybody else started on the 16th. The beta runs through the 19th. I do not know the specific time on when it's over, but given that in the States here, the 19th is a holiday for a lot of people, it's probably going to go pretty well into that Monday, or into this Monday. I do not get that as a holiday. I have to come to work, so I will not get to enjoy the game.
I kind of have to work.
Yeah. But it's going on all weekend long, so there's plenty of time to play it. I did not get any time to play it, or did not get a chance to play it at all last night, and so I am jonesing, and I need some players to play with. So hopefully, Drew said he's downloading it now, so I'm going to get to play. Going to play some of that after the show. If you'd like to join us, by the way, we've got a Steam group. Just pop in over there, join our Steam group. It's in-game chat, and you can see when we're all playing stuff, and you can probably join us and do some Evolve with us tonight. Would be a lot of fun, and we would really enjoy it and love to have you there. So, on PC, if you were in the alpha, you were also in the beta. If you happen to own Left 4 Dead 2 or Bioshock Infinite, you were also in the beta as well. Go and check your games. I know you might think you don't have it because, for whatever reason, you didn't get an email saying, hey, we added this to your account, or ever how it works. But in your games library, there is the Evolve beta. Knock it out. It's like 20-some-odd gigs of a game, so get that thing downloaded and get to playing. On Xbox One, you get all 12 maps and 2 monsters.
No, I think you get... Isn't the Wraith playable in the Xbox One?
You're right, the Wraith opened up today, I believe.
Okay.
They had some kind of staggered thing where the 15th and 16th, it was only one game mode available to play, but it was all 12 maps, and there were 2 monsters and 8 of the hunters. And then on Saturday, they were opening up another game mode, but only for Xbox One, and then they were also adding one more monster for this. And this is only for Xbox One. Plus, if you pre-ordered the game for Xbox One, your beta progress will carry over into the main game progress. Again, this only accounts for Xbox One players.
What if you got the other systems?
Then
Nope.
Yeah.
the other systems, PC and PS4, they have they started yesterday with their beta. Stress tests were going on today. I want to say that all 12 maps are available. Only one game mode is available. I think it's just the hunting game mode, just the regular standard game mode. 2 monsters, 8 hunters.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how it'll be. That's how it'll be done. None of your unlocks carry over into the main game when you pre-order it.
Which is the normal thing for a beta.
It is.
Overall.
It is.
The only reason people are kind of fussy about that is because Xbox One is getting that particular advantage.
Yeah, you can. Stream
Otherwise, it'll be like, no, nobody would care.
Yeah, you can stream it, and if Drew seems to have much better internet than I do at my house, so go ahead and stream it then, and that'd be great. So maybe we'll stream some of that tonight. Let's talk about some of the DLC.
Yeah, there's been some kerfuffle about the DLC.
It's confusing.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
Reading over it, I didn't care to figure it all out as to what you get with what you buy, because I didn't have any plans on pre-ordering it. Plus, I was only going to get it on PC.
The main thing that seems to be getting a lot of people angry is the 4th monster, the Behemoth, is going to be sold as separate DLC. If you're getting
$15 or something like that.
Yeah, if you're pre-ordering on Xbox One, if you get that, or if you get like one of the collector's edition versions for the other systems, you'll get it as part of that. But a lot of people are like, oh, well, you're just slicing this off and taking this out of the main game just so you can sell some more stuff to me. But Turtlerock's come out and said, no, we're not done with it. It's not going to be done by the time the game comes out. And they're trying to run servers as far as I can tell. So it's like, it's not surprising there's going to be content that is a further purchase. I mean, it's not surprising. It's what goes on with games these days.
Yeah.
They flat out said it's not something that's just going to be sitting on the disc waiting for your unlock code.
And they're still working on it.
Yeah, if it was sitting on the disc unlock code, then that might be a little bit more
a little bit more skeevy, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got that. They've got
There's just a bunch of different... Aren't there a bunch of pre-order bonuses or something like that?
a few. There are some that are exclusive to Xbox One. Some retailers have like their own particular thing. There's the digital deluxe version, which is the main one that is like all the stuff rolled in together. The monster expansion, some of the extra hunters. There's I love that name. The Evolve PC Monster Race Edition.
Oh, yeah. The PC Monster Race.
Yeah, which is basically a huge collection of everything, including a unannounced 5th monster as well, included with everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. For $25, the game's Hunting Season Pass will include 4 new playable hunters this spring, 1 for each class in the game. Each hunter will also be available for purchase for $7.50 each. Season Pass holders will also get exclusive access to 3 monster skins during the launch of the game. Magma, Goliath, Kraken, and Wraith. They also revealed the Behemoth, which is a 4th playable tank of a monster,
which is the one that's going to be
which
its
will
own
be available
DLC.
for this spring for $15. It'll also be part of a monster expansion pack, which is a bonus for those that pre-order or pre-purchase the game. That expansion pack itself features a free Savage Goliath skin during the game's launch. And then 2 special edition versions of the game. The Digital Deluxe Edition will feature the Season Pass and the Monster Expansion Pack for $80. And then PC players get that special PC Monster Race Edition. And that's for $100.
Wow.
That comes with all the stuff that's in the Digital Deluxe Edition, as well as a 5th monster, 2 hunters, and 4 monster skins that will be exclusive to the PC Monster Race Edition players for 30 days. It'll be exclusive to those players for only 30 days. So, game launches February 10th.
Also, I mean, you said that you didn't feel good about it. Is it just the fact that the 4th monster's getting?
Man, it's not that I didn't feel good about it. It's just like all the special editions. It felt like an Assassin's Creed title.
At the very least, it's not as bad as Watch Dogs was. With you have to use.
Well, put it that way. It felt like a Ubisoft title.
Yeah, you didn't need to set up an array to figure out which version of Evolve you want.
Yeah, they had a huge I remember when I was getting Black Flag, I think it was Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I was debating if I was going to pick it up on PC or if I was going to go console route, and if I was going to go special editions and all this other stuff. Maybe it may not have been Black Flag. It may have been Revelations or something like that. I just remember going to trying to get an idea of what all came with what edition of the game, and there was this huge chart.
Getting a game shouldn't involve, setting up PowerPoint slides or, a database
you
to
found
figure out where you're at.
Yeah, you found the add-on that you wanted, and then you scrolled down and found the system or edition that it was going to be included in, and then it was like, okay, good, that's there. What about my other thing? It was like trying to buy home theater equipment.
Yeah.
Does this come with this version of HDMI? Does it come with a 3D? What kind of stereo output does it do? Does it do all this stuff? How many channels are available? Blah, blah, blah. It just was confusing as all hell, and I hated it. And I think that was the same feeling I was getting with Evolve with the announcement of all this stuff. Was like, good God, man. I mean, thank God it wasn't like, well, if you order from Amazon, you get this, or if you order from Best Buy, you get this, and if you order from GameStop, you get this, which is something that Ubisoft also pulls. But apparently they weren't going that route. If they did, it would have been more annoying and confusing. I don't necessarily know that there's a moral to this story or that there's even an outcome to this. It's just a sense of...
I mean, it's kind of... The simple answer is, do you want to play the game? If
Right.
yes, get
Right.
Evolve.
Right.
That's all you need. If it's... When you get into the bonus stuff, it's like, do you... what gets the most bang for your money? It's like, do I get ripped off if I go get this version instead with the BMF in it, or not?
I don't even know if it's going to hold my attention long enough to enjoy the DLC or when this stuff launches in the spring. Like if I shell out for the $100 version or the $80 version with stuff that's coming in the spring being whenever they decide spring is, spring could mean the last day of spring. So you're looking at maybe sometime in June. Yeah, well, I mean, I remember when some site said, "Oh, it's coming this winter," and so December would go by, and then January went by, and then February went by, and seriously, March 21st or 20th, they released the DLC or whatever it was because it fit within that time frame. But that didn't feel like winter to any of us. But they got it in under the nose. So their time frame of spring of this year could mean anything. Could be May. Could be who knows? Could be delayed.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
could always be the case. Hey, thanks for paying us the money. We don't have anything. We don't have that for you yet. We're going to delay it. But as a reward or as a compensation, we're going to give you something else that's not, some more skins.
Yeah, but I mean that's always the risk you play with that.
It is.
That's always part of the gamble.
No, it is. My point going back to it is that I don't even know if the game's going to hold my attention long enough to enjoy that. So if I spring for the $80, the $100 version, whatever I get with it, I don't know how long it's going to take, how long that game is going to hold its...
Kind of a gamble.
How long it's going to hold its flavor, basically. And not necessarily. If it holds its flavor, great. Then maybe I'll shell out for the $15 for the extra stuff, or wait for a Steam sale when it's cheaper and then shell out.
Yeah,
if it's going to hold its,
the fact that you're already like saying, I don't know, it's kind of like a sign like the collector's edition probably is not
for
you.
me. But here, take the example of the beta being out right now. I had it. I wanted to play it last night, but I didn't because nobody else was playing it. Oh, yeah, I'll get that. So it's the same thing. In fact, let's just go ahead and get it. Not even going to screen it. Let's just put them on. Hey, you are on the air. Who's this?
This is Nathan.
Oh, hey, Nate.
Hey, Nate.
What's up, Nate?
Hey, what up?
You're not like a truck driver that just has the same name as Nathan, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
I'm the butter churner.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, man. Why aren't you here?
Because so this weekend we had decided to do my timing belt or 100,000-mile tune-up on my car, and it was been giving us issues. We could not get the harmonic bouncer bolt off. And
I didn't really need details, man. I just really wanted to know your car. So your car's in the shop. That's why you couldn't be here.
Well,
One sentence,
in
not
my
one paragraph.
garage shop.
You sound like me trying to say what games I didn't play.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll go 30 minutes on that, right?
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I didn't play any games. I talked about not playing Evolve, and yeah. So
I played that. I played that last night. It's
did you play that on PC? Did you play that on PC?
Yes.
When last night did you play it? And why didn't you send me a message or something? Say, hey, I'm jumping on Evolve.
Because it was I got home. I had to write an essay, and then I hopped on for one round.
Yeah, man, Scott was huddled around a fire all by his lonesome.
I was hitting
refresh.
I was hitting refresh on my Steam's friends list to see if people were jumping in, and nobody was.
It was about 12:45 when I hopped on. 1 o'clock.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't hit refresh at 1. But at that time, I was like,
I was about to say the old man instinct takes over at that point.
Old man instinct takes over at 9 p.m. now. That's really
I
sad.
hopped on just for one round, and then I was going to play it later on tonight.
Yeah. Yes, we do play. Is everything okay with your car? Are you going to be home tonight?
Well, I mean, it's at my house. Me and my dad are working on it.
You're doing one of them Hallmark things.
Oh, that's how we always do it.
Bonding and stuff.
We don't take it. We are the mechanics. We don't take it to mechanic shops. Build my own PC, build my own car.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's good. But so good. Then you will be able to play tonight after the show?
Yes, I will be able to play.
All right. Good.
So did you play it at all last night, or?
I loaded it up and looked at it. It was kind of nice that they threw in the tutorial there.
I agree. That was a lot different from just getting kind of thrown into.
It was. And did they start you off with the monster tutorial first?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Same
I think
here.
it always does.
I didn't know if maybe it was just random how it started you off, but yeah. It did that, and and that was kind of nice because I wasn't exactly sure on I was trying to get my bearings again.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier where I was trying to play, but they're like, hey, you didn't do a pickup group? And I was like, no, it's not a game I want to do a pickup group with. But Dennis, let me know that, why don't you just play the monster? And I was like, that's a fantastic idea. I could have just played the monster if I wanted to play solo.
And I don't want to play as one of these hunters, but it's not like there's anything else I can do.
Yeah.
So I don't mind pickup groups. I mean, I mean, it's fun with friends, but I don't mind hopping in with random people.
I don't know. I did hop in with random people during the alpha, and I didn't like it, especially when I hopped in with people I knew. Good God. I was like, nope, never going back to that. Because that was. I can say, though,
I think almost every single time I've hopped in with people I don't know, I've never won. The group always just, I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do.
Right. When you
don't have that rapport.
No, yeah, and also it's 4 people going up against one person controlling a monster who has to be balanced against 4 people at their best. So if they're at their worst or nowhere near their best, then it makes sense you're going to die.
Then it just goes bananas. You're welcome.
I know it's just a personal opinion. I think it's somewhat just me. I still feel that the monster's overpowered. There's still a tweaking that's missing to me. I
haven't played it, so I don't know.
So what is it? They take too much damage, or they dish out too much?
I would say they can take too much damage. I know it's supposed to be that way. And there is
I mean that's kind of.
But I felt like it was more balanced in the very first closed alpha that I played. That's when it felt the most balanced to me. Ever since then, it's not felt balanced. I don't know why.
Well, maybe it's that way to. I'm just guessing here, but maybe it's that way to force the team to work together, to put their best assets together and be smart about it.
That is true. That is very true. Yeah, I think it's just me, but I still feel it.
Well, I mean, what would be ideal for you what would be the ideal time for takedown on a monster once you have your plan, your trap sprung and everything? And what's that compared to how it is now?
I think I would need to do an analysis of a perfect situation. See, so if I am in a group with a perfect group and we knew exactly what to do and we just obliterate the monster, then I'll kind of understand the balancing. I can get a better understanding. But I've only played with people who don't know what they're doing, so that's partially the reason.
Okay.
So I need to get more testing. Did you bring your graphs and everything, Scott?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We talked about this. He said, he said he was going to be playing on a PC, and I think you also got it for PS4.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and I said I had it for all 3 systems. So he's like, "Oh, so we're going to have a very extensive review from you then, right? By Saturday, nice 30-page dissertation."
I want a 30-page PDF and a 20-minute YouTube video.
Yeah. And I was like, exactly. That's exactly what I'm going to give you. I'm going to have charts and all that stuff in my review to tell you how Evolve is playing out. No, I haven't touched it on PS4 or Xbox One.
I still have no intentions of pre-ordering it, and I don't really plan on buying it anytime soon.
Okay.
So I will say that's how I am on it.
Why is that?
It's just there's more games that I'd rather play right now. I'm more looking forward to like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Hotline Miami, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, Hotline Miami 2 is on the list for a lot of people.
Unless you're in Australia.
Unless you're in Australia.
I like how the people, the developers, they're just saying, if you're in Australia, just pirate it.
Yeah, just pirate it if you want to play it. So, Evolve. We're going to do some of that tonight after the show, and get some time in with that. We really enjoyed it. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I heard that too.
You heard it too?
I don't know what that was.
Something outside?
It could be something outside. You're right. We have windows now. This is not an isolated studio like it was before when we were upstairs and didn't know what was going on below us.
Do we have a crazed fan out the window trying to get in?
I think it was a dog. I think we may have a dog outside the window trying to get in.
Someone's trying to hijack your car.
Yeah. Hope not. But hey, if they do, it's got an alarm and we got a window and I can just go right.
It's a ghost.
I like being down here. I honestly do. I like being down here, mainly for the fact of this big thing that I have to carry back and forth. Also, this big thing that I have to carry back and forth as well.
This is great radio.
I know it is, isn't it? Thanks for calling and screwing it all up. When James and I played it, when James and actually Track Zero, who's in the chat room, when we played it during the alpha, and James had mentioned this to me earlier today when I was talking to him about it, but I'm basically the same way, is that my interest in the game rose after playing the alpha. It didn't decline. I was actually more interested in this after giving it some time in the alpha, and it pretty much sold me on the game. It's like, that's probably one I'll be picking up when it launches.
But that's the thing. It's not that I'm not interested, and I've been interested in it since I first saw it in E3.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not something I want to pay full price for right away.
Yeah.
It's kind of one.
And like you said, there's plenty of other things you can play right now.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the same way I had with Battlefield 4. I loved that game and I wanted to play it, but I refused to pay for it until it was at least at $20. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm my thought on this, and I can't remember. Mogus, I believe, on Steam had sent me a little chat message saying I didn't even know I had Evolve, and I was like, yeah, we were going through that, and. He said, yeah, I can't wait to play it, but I still think it's one I'm going to wait for a sale on. And I said, that's valid. It's valid if you want to do that. My worry with that is that there won't be a community there to support it by the time it hits a price that I would be willing to wait for a sale on.
That's part of the price you're paying to get in initially is getting that community right away. That's just a part of it. So if you wait till it's $20,
like I imagine there'll still be people playing it, but again, you fall into that. What you just said today, that you're all your pickup groups, you didn't win a single match.
Or they'll be berating you because you're a noob and don't know how to play this game.
Oh God, they'll be playing with all those unlocks and perks, and you'll be dragging the team down.
Yeah, you get something like that in all.
Although I'm sure by that time there will be something that you can spend an extra $10 on to boost yourself or whatever to bring you up to speed with everybody else or something like that. The worst case scenario. So, yeah, I don't know. That's one I'm. So the next game that you're looking to buy is what? Bloodborne or Hotline Miami 2, I guess.
Yeah, probably Hotline or Bloodborne. Yeah, probably one of those.
Yeah, I'm looking at the next game I'm looking at buying is Dying Light.
Yeah, that one looks really good too.
And that is not this week. That's when I get back from PAX. It's actually the Tuesday after PAX South. And they're not going to be at
that game
PAX
and The
South
Order
either.
are two games that I really would want to rent. I don't want to buy them.
Well, no. I'm doing the Best Buy rental situation.
True.
Yeah. I'm going to Best Buy and I'm buying it, and then I'm doing the Gamers Club thing.
Yes, that's true.
So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing with Dying Light, and I will take it back and get my thing, and then probably pick up Evolve on PC, and then also, get The Order and do a quick play on that one.
I might do that as well with Dying Light and Evolve, or in The Order.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
That's definitely what I'll be doing with those two.
Yeah.
The Order especially.
Hey, I do want to, real quick, did you guys discuss at all the H1Z1?
No, I haven't brought that up. It just hit early access yesterday, I think.
It did, and I heard, I can't remember where I heard this, or maybe I just read a headline real quick that H1Z1, the early access had some issues during the launch of that. But I mean,
Yeah, but I don't feel bad because
it's the norm.
Yeah, well, it's early access though.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people were complaining about that. But
because internet. That's why.
Did you see that they are offering refunds? Did you see that at all?
No, I hadn't seen that at all.
Yeah, Sony put out a thing saying that they are giving no questions asked refunds if you want on the early access.
Wow.
So. I mean, that makes sense because it's supposed to be a free-to-play game when it actually releases, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so basically you are paying for the right to early access this game.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, okay, really, why are you people complaining? But
So it is a nice thing for Sony to do overall.
Exactly, I agree. But yeah, so I just wanted to see if you guys talked about that at all.
All right. Yeah, that's what we talked about. I mean, what else? Anything else been going on? What have you been playing? We didn't get to have you in the intro. What have you been playing?
I hopped out on Warframe on the PC. I wanted to try it out to see how it ran on PC, just because I never played it. Except PS4, and it's completely changed since I've played. It's like times 1,000. Everything's way different. I still know the premises of it, but so I've been playing with that, messing around with that. For playing on PC or PS4, I knew after a while, sometimes on stages, you could tell it was dropping from 40 to 30 FPS. And on PC, I'm hitting like 290, 300. I'm like, wow, this is way better. But other than that, I don't really think I've been playing anything. Just Warframe and then the Evolve a little bit.
Yeah, nothing here for me.
Shocker.
Yeah, I know, right?
So it took about half an hour to talk about that.
Sorta. It did, sorta. You'll be back next week, right?
Yes, for sure.
All right, cool. James, I will not be here next week, but there will be a show.
Okay.
James will be here, and Dennis will not be here, but everybody else will be here, and there still will be a show. And I'll try and call in from PAX South.
Gotcha.
So
we can do live interviews.
I don't know with who. There's not many people going to be there.
Random guy at PAX South.
Yeah, you could just janitor.
Janitor.
Yeah, that'll go over well.
Talk to Medusa's mirror.
Yeah, no. I definitely plan. And like I said, if there's anybody who hears this between now and PAX South, hit me up on Twitter, hit us up through an email, something. Let me know if you're going to be there. I know Medusa's mirror is, but if anybody else is going to be at PAX South, I'd love to meet you and say hello. So I don't want this to happen like it did with PAX Prime when W. Matthew was there and I didn't even know about it until afterwards. And I really wish I had known sooner and been able to meet him. So
this is your chance to meet a celebrity.
No, not even a celebrity. Just meet people that
no, I'm saying for them to meet you. I mean, that's.
I keep on trying to say this guy will buy everyone dinner.
I will not.
You'll get everyone shots,
Yeah. All right, we'll go back to your
Okay.
car.
All right. Have a good show, guys.
You too, man.
Thank you much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, you have a good show. I don't know why I just said that, but yeah, you have a good show, Nate. Anyway, we should take a break, and then when we come back, we will have more to talk about. I don't know what, but we will have stuff to talk about. We've got 30 more minutes to fill. So if
We
you'd
have
like
an
to,
entire news feed.
I know. If you'd like to get in on anything, please give us a call, 334-272-9228, and we will be right back. Here's music from Geometry Wars. And welcome back to the show. We really need to do another music episode. I could listen to this for a good while. This is Splinter Cell Conviction. I really like it.
Yeah. You played the game, right?
Yeah. Conviction. Yeah, that was the one before
Blacklist.
Yeah. It was the one before Blacklist. This was the one where it had kind of
He goes
restarted
rogue.
the franchise.
Yeah.
And they were trying to do something new with it. He hadn't had a Splinter Cell game since Double Agent, which I think everybody hated that one. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And then they did Conviction, and I was okay with it for the most part.
Yeah.
There were problems where again, here's a game where, I mean, Splinter Cell was always, for the most part, was always about stealth.
Yes.
And they threw you into positions where you were not being stealthy whatsoever. I mean, for the most part, there was stealth aspects, but as the game progressed and as you got further, it would set you up in situations where there was no chance of you getting it through it stealthily, and you had to run and gun. And I remember James and I not really enjoying that. We did like the multiplayer aspect of it.
Yeah.
Or at least
the mercenaries versus
the way the multiplayer
agents.
story ended.
That was the one where you're playing two characters and the final order.
The co-op
Yeah.
is what it was. Yeah, it was the co-op. The co-op had a story for it. And as you played through, everything was great, and like more and more of it was revealed as far as I know. But then at the very end, suddenly
each of your handlers say you got to kill the other guy.
Yes.
You got to kill your co-op partner.
Yeah.
But like, you're the only one who gets that message. Both of you get that message, but neither of you know the other one has gotten that yet.
We kind of knew that's what was happening. Because, again, we had been synced up the entire time, and then all of a sudden, I said, James, are you hearing this? He's like, maybe. What are you hearing? Like, okay, fine. So we know what we're doing here. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is that I got the drop on him for that one. We went back and we replayed it so he could get the drop on me, so we could see what would happen, either way. But I was able to. I don't know. I don't remember how or how close it was or anything like that. But I was able to get to him before he got to me. But that was fun. That was actually fun to do that. So,
like I said, I've been going back through. I picked up the Splinter Cell games on the Steam sale, and just trying the first one.
Tough to go back to?
It really is. And I can go back to old games, for the most part. But yeah, that one, just the play mechanics and everything, pretty bad. The third one was all right. Double Agent was just, the game itself was...
I never played. I own it, but I never played it. I never did get around to it.
It was okay at best. And, you know me, I'm always optimistic or just, nice about that kind of stuff.
What was the one before that? Was that Pandora Tomorrow?
No, the one before that was Chaos Theory. Pandora Tomorrow was the
Chaos
second
Theory.
one.
Chaos Theory I heard was really good.
Yes.
Chaos Theory was great from what I understand. Then Pandora Tomorrow, and then it goes, we're going backwards into this.
Yeah, it's one Pandora Tomorrow, Chaos Theory, yeah. But because I picked up Blacklist, and I started that a little bit, and I was really enjoying it. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I should go back and play, the earlier series.
I need to get back into Blacklist. I have it, and I got a pretty good ways through it, and I think I just got distracted by some other games coming out and never went back to it. So yeah. I didn't stop playing because I wasn't because I wasn't enjoying it, or because I just got to one of those parts where it's like, never going through this again.
If you don't want to play it does have the OS app, the game, the OS, like for your phone or whatever. So it does have like the.
Well, that's a little. I played that. That's a little dinky thing, man. That's not.
I know you're into those kind of games right now.
I played that, and then I was like, no. Yeah. It was nice because it unlocked some stuff within the game.
Yeah.
But that's also Ubisoft, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they did so well with that. Where did they go wrong? Watch Dogs is where they went wrong. So
I need to play more of that, or just a little bit. I got out.
You own it.
I do, and I got out of the that first area where at the football game or something like that, in the very introductory, and that's where I stopped.
Oh, the baseball game.
Oh, is it baseball?
I think it's a baseball game.
It's some
sports
sport.
Ball.
It's a sports ball game.
Sports ball game.
Yeah.
And that's where I stopped.
But yeah, the introduction was like just the tutorial. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was another one that gave me tons of stuff to do, and all I ever wanted to do was, with that game, all I ever wanted to do was get through it. Just get it over with, get it done. And I did. There was one side mission in that game that I actually did complete all the way through, and it was the serial killer side mission.
Okay.
Where you went to, there's like these locations that popped up on your map, and I was like, what is that one? So I'd drive to it, and it's like search for the clues, and you would find a dead body, but it would be displayed in this very, not sacrificial, but ritualistic, yes, very ritualistic way. And you would download information from the camera, and then you would hear a voicemail that the guy left and a tape, and it would lead you to the next thing, and you were just going around trying to find the serial killer guy. So I did that whole thing. That was fun.
Okay.
That I actually enjoyed.
Yeah.
I would love a whole game where I do all of that.
It's called Missing since January.
No, actually, I tell you what it's called.
I missed that game. That was a lot of fun.
It's called Condemned: Criminal Origins.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one too.
Yeah.
Except
First Condemned
those
was
mannequins.
aside from like the combat times. That was a really good game.
Yeah, Condemned 2 had a lot of what I was doing in this, which was where you investigate the crime scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this was just on the Watch Dogs version was just on such a small scale, but you investigate the crime scene, and not in the sense of like you did in L.A. Noire or something like that, but there's gruesome crime scenes, and you would track the blood and track the footprints and everything else, and figure out more and more about what the killer was doing and what he may do next and that sort of thing. I like that. Never finished Condemned 2 Criminal Origins. I don't even know if I actually played that. That might have been one where I watched somebody play.
We played Condemned 2 because we went over to your place to
I thought
try
we just
multiplayer.
Well, we played Condemned. James played Condemned, and we streamed that.
Yeah.
In fact,
No, we did Condemned 2.
I know we played it. Did we stream that too?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Did you ever finish it?
This was weird. This was back when I don't even know if Twitch was a thing.
Yeah,
at the time,
this was
it?
like us, like just using like whatever BAP had set up for the webcam thing for us.
Right. We had stuck a webcam like close to the TV so you could get that, and then you could hear the audio of us talking. God, going back.
Yeah.
To when you really we could do great now with it. You can actually stream the game on Steam. I don't even know if Condemned 2 is on Steam or not.
I don't think Condemned 2 is. I think the first one is.
Yeah. So
You stream from a PS3. I still got a copy.
for what?
Condemned 2.
Oh, on PS3. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have them on 360.
I never did play the first one though.
I enjoyed it.
I think it was only 360.
Was it a 360 exclusive?
I think it was 360 exclusive. I want to say it may be one of their launch titles. It's been a minute.
Possibly.
I'll look that up.
Possibly. I'm not sure, but it may have been.
Criminal Origins Condemned is on Steam.
Yeah, it is on Steam now, yes. And I don't think it's on GOG, but yeah, it is on Steam now. So
Those mannequins.
good. Yeah. That whole situation. And it also pulled, and we talked about this before, but it also pulled the trick of pulling the control away from the player during certain moments whenever you're forced to view. Like you couldn't move your head away. You couldn't move the viewpoint away from anything. It forces it into this fluid thing and sets itself up to really put a jump scare.
Yeah.
You know, when you go
that was like during the last stage with
during any stage, whenever you climbed over an object or went under an object or climbed a ladder, the perspective would become in such a way where you could not move your viewpoint. It was in an animation, and so at any point, your head could turn, and boom, there would be something to throw a jump scare at you. So, anyway, Nintendo had a thing this week. Did you pay any attention to that? I know you got a Wii U.
I kind of did. There was a little bit of stuff in there, like the new 3DS being announced.
I was going to say I didn't pay attention to
Yeah,
it.
I didn't really either. It's like
the only thing I took away from it was the fact that they were throwing up Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah, throwing the Wii games on the Wii U eShop.
Yeah, and they were discounted for the first week. They're going to be regularly like $20, but this week they're only 10.
Oh, really?
Or the first week of their release.
Yeah, you paid
they're
a
$10.
little bit more attention to it than I did. But
Yeah, well, I follow a Reddit, a subreddit called Gamer Deals or Game Deals, and so that was like flooding my thing. Was like, ooh, you can pick it up now for $10 because normally it's $20. So this week it was Galaxy 2. Next week I think is Punch Out.
yeah, I think so. Punch Out was next, and there's another one. I cannot remember it for the life of me. But
I'm trying to think. Was it a Kirby title?
probably Canvas Curse. Is Canvas Curse or
Yarn?
yeah, it could be the Kirby's Epic Yarn.
I don't know.
It
It may not have even been any of those. I could be
there are also
completely
other
wrong.
things like they announced Mario Party 10, which is going to also use the amiibos that they've been releasing as well.
I heard some really weird stuff about that.
Really, what kind of stuff?
Amiibos or Mario Party 10?
Mario Party 10 using the amiibos. Something about your Smash data.
They did say that amiibos can only be used at one game at a time.
Right.
So it's like if you use your thing you've been using for Smash and use for Mario Party, it'll get rid of the Smash data and it'll be like, no, I'm a Mario Party thing now.
Oh,
because
that's not
people
good.
were discovering that with Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
And Smash as well. Now is that actually have you read the patch notes on Dark Souls 2, RJ?
There's new DLC going to be free coming out to prep you for the
the Scholar
remake
of
version.
First Sin.
Yeah, for February 5th, right?
February 5th.
February 5th, new stuff.
Well, there was some interesting
Prep you
stuff
for
in
it.
there, like when you go to Warp Between Bonfires in Dark Souls 2, it would actually like highlight areas like, hey, this is where you're going to have the most online interaction with people. Things like that. Just some really interesting stuff going on.
Yeah.
A couple rebalancing. I see some of the covenants have either additional or more consistent rewards.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, though, I never did a lot of the Covenant stuff in Dark Souls 2, to be honest with you. It was really just exploration and seeing what I can find, discovering and challenges and things like that, but I never really did the Covenant stuff.
Yeah,
I really should. When I think about it, I really should.
Yeah, I did
What
a
I did.
couple of things as a white phantom trying to get humanity back.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't even get that far in the game. I got up the highest tower of flame and finished the Forest of the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like they're trying to aim more for get more people in here,
Yeah.
get more people grouped together, especially with Scholar of First Sin coming out.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while since I played Dark Souls 2, but I was seriously thinking about getting on the PS4 because I do plan on getting a PS4 soon, and I should be able to get one before Dark Souls drops on the PS4.
Yeah.
So maybe I can like it's made for prepping you for the new stuff in the new Dark Souls before I do that.
I was actually wrong about Kirby.
Oh, really?
It is Punch-Out on the 22nd of January, and then on the 29th, it is the Metroid Prime trilogy.
Ah, yes. I need to pick that up. I always did want that one on the Wii. Because, man, 3 was really good, because that was the only one on the Wii. The first 2 were GameCube games. But that was the...
Was that Corruption?
Yeah, Corruption. That was the one, like, the Wiimote just worked really well for that. You know, well worth it if you can get hold of that. Because it was available for, like, probably a month and a half before it just sold out. It's just that limited a run. I never was able to get it.
Yeah, I don't know what the prices are. Well, never mind. There you go. The prices will be $10 for the first weeks that they are available.
Nice.
So
Not bad.
Galaxy 2 right now is $10. It'll go up to $20 next week, and then Punch-Out will be released next week. It'll go to $10, and then on January 29th, Metroid Prime Trilogy will be $10. $10 for 3 games. For people who have a Wii U.
Yeah, and the Prime games are fairly long. I mean, they're not quite as long as, like, the original Metroid or anything, but they'll last you a good long while. You can get 3 of them all together.
Yeah. This little thing you put in, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, is the first Nintendo cross-buy game.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, you get a 3DS and a Wii U version, I believe, for one price. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah.
Likely, if you buy the Wii U version, you get the 3. If it works anything like the...
Yeah, pretty much similar to like how PlayStation does with the Vita and PS3.
Yeah, you can't go buy the 3DS version and then think, I'm getting the Wii U version with the cheaper... No, it doesn't work that way. The one you buy that has the bigger price, you will get both versions of the game.
That'll be the new one that's coming out in March. It's going to be their first cross-buy platform.
Is Mario Party 10 something you're interested in? Is Mario Party... they've got 10 of them, obviously, so apparently it's very successful.
I enjoyed them whenever, I was at a friend's house. I'm like, oh, hey, let's break this out.
My favorite Mario Party game was Mario Kart. That was my party game.
Yeah, Mario Kart's probably my favorite
That was always my favorite go-to party game. We did, in fact, on the GameCube, we did Mario Tennis, which actually turned out to be very good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Mario Kart. We tried to do the soccer game, and that just did not work for us. I can't remember what it's called, but Mario...
Strikers?
Yes.
Yeah, Mario Strikers.
Good Lord, out of nowhere comes RJ with that one. Yes, it was Strikers. That didn't catch on for us as much as the other ones did. But yeah, so we enjoyed Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Golf. No, not did we? Golf was another one.
Golf.
There wasn't golf was another one we played a little bit of. Yeah, but mainly it was the tennis and it was Mario Kart that we did.
Yeah, the main thing with Party is just like playing that single player has never been like a great. It's the same thing I say about like Dead Island Borderlands. Like it needs more people to be a complete game.
It's made
to fine.
It's made to play with multiple people, not solo.
Yeah, it's fine when there are those people there, but when it's not, when it's just yourself, even against like computer bots, kind of like this is kind of not as fun as it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something like Mario Kart where you can play solo and be just fine against computer controlled opponents. There is great.
Yeah, it's like me. What's the point of me playing Street Fighter by myself? I mean, I gotta play with people to get better and build my game up. So
yeah. And even Street Fighter, you can say you can play through the solo campaign for each character. But I mean, the long term.
In long term, you're going to be playing with another person.
Yes.
All right. Well, I mean, anything next week that we're all looking forward to? I don't think there's anything on the list.
Gat Out of Hell.
That is next week for you?
That is next week.
All right.
So
we'll have something new to say.
That.
Well, you won't be here next week to
Nope.
tell us about it. That's right. Well, that's fine. We'll definitely talk to you about it the week after that. But we will, by the way, just to reiterate, we will have a show next week. I will not be here and Dennis will not be here. But there will be a show next week. Matt will be here, Nate will be here, RJ will be here, and James will be back on the show. And James also says that he looks pretty good to be back on the show beginning next week and all the other weeks after that.
Nice.
Good.
So he should be become a regular again.
Oh, there's something I didn't mention. The remaster of Resident Evil.
Oh yeah.
I forgot all about
Yeah,
that.
I played the GameCube version, and I really enjoyed it.
And this isn't that version, right?
Yes, it is.
It is.
It is the
GameCube
exact same GameCube
It's
version.
just, I think it's just a port of it.
Remastered,
They've done some things with the graphics.
Okay.
Not all of the backgrounds are just paintings. Essentially, there are some that are actually 3D rendered.
At the time when that released on GameCube, that knocked me away.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk into that mansion for the first time on a GameCube of all systems,
GameCube was a nice, solid system.
This little purple box sitting next to the black behemoth of the PS2 at the time, I guess,
And the Xbox.
and then the green giant that was the Xbox. And these
House
things
Family
are
4 and
these things
everything.
are putting out this thing, and then you've got this little Nintendo thing that launched with Luigi's Mansion, and it's nothing but throwing toddler all over the world at you. I mean,
It looks like Fisher Price's My First Console.
right. Luigi's Mansion is probably really good. I'm just saying
It is.
the perception of the reality. The perception was the reality that it just had this look about it, and then you pop that game in and you see, Dad, man, it was just like, wow, this thing blows all those other 2 consoles out of the water from what we were seeing.
Yeah, especially I played the original Resident Evil back in college, and that was scary then. And seeing the new graphics and the new everything, just being in that environment again, only looking so much better.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Arioka says GameCube was way more powerful than the PS2. I would probably agree. Well, I have to agree with you on that because the GameCube came out after the PS2 had already been in.
It had been out for a minute.
It had been out for a good while before the GameCube got released. And so GameCube had some really good titles. Wind Waker was one of them, and also Rogue Squadron.
Yes, Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron looked really, really. It was another one that was a nice surprise to see.
Eternal Darkness.
Eternal Darkness was also great, especially with what it was doing kind of under the skin of that game.
Yeah.
Not just the story and everything else, but
the insanity
the
effects.
insanity effects were just fantastic.
And I knew that was coming, but it still, some of them just got me every single time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that is going to do it for us. We have got to go. I got to play some Evolve. Thanks, everybody, for joining us in the chat room, as well as everybody listening on the stream or even on the radio. We do appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who grabs us each week from iTunes or however you get our show for later use. Go to ingamechat.net. You can join us on Twitter, Facebook, our forums at colonyofgamers.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our Twitch channel. We appreciate that. And if you're on Steam, join the Steam group there and play with us and other listeners. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. I will see you Saturday after next, but for the most part, we'll be here next Saturday. Have a good one.